The C63 is back, and as for the interior, it's starting to look kind of complete and kind of clean. But as for the exterior, well, we're a long way from being finished with that. Just take a look at it.
You might not want to get close. We a little wild war. Covered in tattoos, run it up, taking all the views.
If you're new to the channel and you've missed the previous videos on the C63, firstly, hello, and secondly, let me keep you up to date on what exactly has gone on. I bought this C63 cheap from auction, and believe it or not, it looked a lot worse from this. I've been slowly rebuilding it, and in the last video, I started installing a Black Series kit to it, and it is looking aggressive as anything. Now, you don't need to tell me that the body kit still needs a lot of work, and we only got really half of it on. So as you can imagine, there's still a lot to get on with. Never mind the lights that we've got on the dashboard, the issue with the headlight, and then also the Pyrotechnics Fuse, along with a lot more, but we'll get on with that in this video. So let's start fitting the rear of this body kit. Now the C63 Black Series is not only wider at the front, it's also about 70mm wider at the rear, and that's where this bumper comes into place. But before I install it, let me show you the brand new Make the V8 Great Again hoodies with the C63 engine on the back. The link's in the description for this. So it's on to removing the rear bumper. First we've got to take off the wheels, and this is probably the reason why the previous owner crashed. And then it's on to removing the arch lining, and then the rear bumper. There's only a few bolts each side, and the rest is all on clips, and you can just pull it away from the car after you've disconnected all the electrical connections. So the bumper is off, and I can tell you already that this is not going to be a 5-minute job. Well, we knew that anyway, but this is just escalated. So as you notice, we have parking sensor holes in this bumper and, well, none in this bumper. And I don't even think on the back we even have guides of where we should be drilling. So I've got to sort of mark them out myself, maybe a bit of masking tape, but that's the least of our worries. As you can see with this rear bumper, I don't know with the kit whether we're supposed to come with the square exhaust tips that comes on the C63 Black Series. Well, obviously on the standard C63 we have the oval ones. Well, let me show you this. This bumper will literally not even push anywhere near the car because of those oval tips. So I think we're gonna have to cut them off. And that's exactly what I did. I had no other choice. But eventually these will be replaced with the square exhaust tips. I gave them a lick of paint just so they're a bit more hidden behind the bumper, and then got on to removing the original bumper brackets because we won't be needing these for this aftermarket bumper. And then have to line the new bumper up with the body of the car and drill some holes so it slots nicely into the studs which the previous bumper brackets fitted to. With the rear bumper secured, I could then line up the new rear arches. Now, as you know, the Black Series only came in a coupe, and I'm installing this Black Series kit on a saloon, which means not only the rear arch has got to go wider, the rear door has to go wider as well. Okay, check it out. It's slowly starting to come together now. We've got the rear arches sort of taped on, and do you know what? The fitment on the rear bumper is surprisingly good. Normally with aftermarket fiberglass parts, the bigger the part is, the worse it normally fits. This rear bumper wraps around the whole rear of the car and then goes into the rear arches here. And you know what? It's actually not bad. So the fitment between the rear quarter and the bumper here is pretty much perfect. There is a little bit of a bigger gap here, but there is a stud sticking out of the frame there, which I could get a bolt onto, but I have got to pull the bumper off in a minute anyway, so I don't want to bolt it on just yet. Even on the driver's side, it's the same story, a bit of a bigger gap at the top, but it's fitting pretty nice, to be fair. Now moving on to the rear lights move nicely along into the body line, follow it along there consistently into the other light as well. It really isn't that bad of a fitment. Now, maybe watching my videos has inspired you to buy a crash damaged car, or maybe it's completely put you off them. But one thing that you definitely don't want to experience is buying a car that you thought was straight, but perhaps has a little bit more of a sinister history than you first thought. And that's why before buying a car, I always check it out using Car Vertical first. Car Vertical currently works in over 20 different countries, and it gathers data from car insurance databases, car crash auctions, and loads more. So after popping in your registration or VIN number, you'll get a check which looks like this. This one I did on an Audi A5, and as you can see, we've got an amber light for an accident. When I scroll through the check, I can see that all the mileage all lines up as it should, but when I get to the damage section, I can see that there was damage recorded in 2019 in the UK on this A5. And what's even better than that, I can see the photos of the car crash auction website where it was auctioned off, and well, it looks pretty bad. Another cool little extra is that they have a checklist for this specific model telling me all the specific cons and recalls that this car's had. And just to show you what a good check looks like, this is my Lamborghini Gallardo, all green lights at the top. You can see all the mileage all lines up and there's no report for damage. So to check whether your car had hidden history or a car that you're potentially about to buy, then click the link in the description box below, and with my link you're going to save yourself a nice bit of cash as well. Thanks Car Vertical. Now, as we've got wider arches, we need space for wider wheels. The new edge of this car will be this part of the bumper here and this wheel arch, which will be bonded to the car, as well as this part bonded to the door. Now, because we will be having wider wheels, we need to make room for them, which means this part of the body needs to be removed. So safety glasses at the ready, and the angle grinder comes out. Not much of the original arch is being removed, but I have to be precise that I don't overcut it and make any mistakes. Okay, nice progress going on now. So we've cut out the rear arch as well, which turns out to be just single skin. Well, the part are cut, so there's no gap in between any of the panels, so there's going to be no water going onto the inside, which is good news. And now we've got room for a bigger wheel or a spaced out wheel to come all the way out and sit nice and flush with the side. The next sort of part is creating a riv nut, so I can bolt the bumper to this part, but then this part has got to be bonded to the actual chassis of the car. So if we take this off, this is a part where it gets a little bit scary because whatever I do is kind of not undoable. But that's where I spoke to Colourcraft, and they told me to get some sort of electric trunking or electrical trunking, and this is going to run along the inside of the new arch like this. I'm going to fiberglass over it, and then that's going to create a sort of contact point between the arch and the body of the car. Never done it before. Hopefully it works. If it doesn't, no, it's got it. So this is where it gets a little bit messy because the fiberglass is coming out. And again, I have none to very little experience with fiberglass, so what do you expect? Whilst I was waiting for the fiberglass to dry, I marked out with masking tapes where the old parking sensors were on the bumper. Then put a center line in the new bumper, took the masking tape with the markings off the old bumper and put it onto the new bumper, and then I knew exactly where to drill the holes for the parking sensors.
Buzz like, yeah, right here, don't tow it out, stereo, no, whoa, let me breathe. Got too cold, stay on freeze.
And once I remove the masking tape, we've got some nice symmetrical holes for the parking sensors. Now the fiberglass has dried, and I'm just sanding it down to make it nice and flat, so it's got a nice meeting surface between the new arch and the car. A very messy and dusty job. And yet my fiberglassing isn't the neatest at all, but it should do the job. So it's time to line the new arch up against the car, and where the arch meets the car, I'm going to roughen that down with a bit of sanding, just so we got a nice clean mating point. And then it's time for this panel bond. This stuff is extremely powerful. There's two parts to it, and the nozzle mixes those parts together before it ends up on the new arch. I'm just going to run a fine bead along the new arch before gluing it onto the car. And it pretty much set instantly. No room for error there. And then it's the exact same process for the arch that goes on the door.
So much better, blow hotter than some peppers. This beat got me feeling extra. Two-step, no drink, don't care what you think. Been high, no dang. God's love in my tank.
then just a little bit of sanding just to flat it down and get all the imperfections out.
Right on time when we lay to the.
Oh yes, it is slowly starting to come together now, and I've actually surprised myself with this one. It's getting me so excited to see the finished product. So now I've got the rear arch on, something that I was actually really scared of doing, just because once it's bonded to the car, then it's bonded to the car. There is just no turning back. And also on this side, I've got the rear arch on as well. It is looking so good and aggressive from the rear end now. You can see how much wider it actually is. Although the rear arches are on, there's still a lot to do to get them to finish nicely. The passenger side definitely fits better than the driver's side, but for someone who's got absolutely no body shop experience at all, I don't think I've done too bad. So this fitting up against the actual body of the car doesn't fit bad at all. A bit of body filler just to fill in the gaps and everything, to smooth it all out, would finish it off nicely. Actually, the door gap is not too bad all the way down. It's fairly consistent. You can see it's a little bit off here, but a little bit of body filler should be able to sort that. Moving on to the bumper, it actually fits really nice. The body line is quite good all the way here. The bumper is a little tucked in there, which again, that could be sorted with a little bit of adjustment, a little bit of filler. All inside the arch as well. This is all got to be fillered and painted on the inside. The one thing that isn't too good is the fitment from here to the side skirt. You can see it's fairly off there, but the door does open and close without catching anything. But again, we haven't fitted the side skirt like properly yet. It's not actually fixed to anything. It's just sort of clipped in. So again, that can be adjusted. Now, despite all the bodywork issues, we still have mechanical and electrical issues. One of them being this one, release the parking brake. Although the parking brake, it is actually released, but it's still telling me that it needs to be released. Now, apparently this is not only a problem for C63s of this age, it's also a common problem for all C classes. Just wait 1 second before we carry on. Look at this. This is not the smallest wheel of all time. It's a 19-inch, but it looks so tiny inside that monstrous arch. You guys are going to have to really bear with me with this build. Anyway, back to the parking brake. I'm hoping that this little thing right here should be the fix. This is the sensor that senses whether the parking brake is down or, well, off. On these Mercedes, instead of having a handbrake here, you have a foot brake, which is right down there, and then this is to release it. So I'm hoping somewhere down there should be this sensor. So let's get replacing it. So to get to the sensor, I've just got to remove this panel here, which is a bunch of torque screws, and the sensor was just clipped into the parking brake pedal with 2 connectors on top. So it's a pretty simple and easy change. I've just got to clip the new electrical connectors into the new sensor, clip the sensor back into the pedal, and you can see how it works right here. Put all the panel back together, and hopefully that should be the fix of the parking brake. Okay, nice and quick. Let's see if that has worked. So when I pull this now, that red light should go off. Yes! Come on. Now it's just for the rest of these lights. So as all the airbags were deployed on the C63, the Pyrotechnics fuse has blown, so I'm having to bridge the gap between the starter motor and the positive terminal to get the car started. And this yellow connector right here must have a break in it when the airbags blow to stop the car from being started. Now, when I called Mercedes to ask for the Pyrotechnics fuse, they sent me this, which is just like a replacement cable. So maybe it actually is something in the connector and not actually a fuse in that box. But we'll soon find out once I've spliced and widened the new cable for the Pyrotechnics fuse. But I'm feeling very skeptical about this. Okay, so if this doesn't start now, I'm blaming it on the Mercedes parts guy. I just can't see that being the fuse unless something breaks inside there which causes it to stop. I thought there was an actual fuse in it, but maybe it was just the cable. I don't know. So it should be able to start up now without bridging the gap from the starter motor to the actual electrics of the car. Let's see if that works. No, that doesn't work at all. So yeah, as I thought, there's nothing wrong with that cable. There is definitely a fuse inside here which needs replacing, not the actual cable. So we're gonna have to do another call for Mercedes for that. So it's back to bridging the gap between the starter and the positive wire. Now it should start up. There we go. Okay, So, progress. Small progress, but progress is progress. And any of you guys would know that you are going to have days like this where you feel like you've done so much but very little to show for it. And I'm hoping some of you can kind of see the finished product, although we are pretty far away. But again, thanks so much for watching this video. I hope you've enjoyed it. Hit that thumbs up button, hit that subscribe button, and don't forget to grab yourself a C63 hoodie. See you in the next video. Peace out.
Drug